Alrighty, welcome to episode 149 of Tokwa's Ask Us Anything. As usual, it's been a pretty busy news week. Tesla has officially built its first release candidate Cybertruck at its newly completed assembly line at Austin, Texas. Leaked images taken from Tesla's Austin Gigafactory have shown that current Cybertruck production features a left-hand drive only asymmetrical bulkhead. If Tesla were to produce right-hand drive Cybertrucks in the future, it would have to produce a mirrored bulkhead as well as having other components currently designed to accommodate right-hand drive configuration. Tesla has filed formal applications to expand its German Gigafactory in Brandenburg. Tesla's expansion plans include a doubling of vehicle production to 1 million cars and battery production of 100 gigawatt hours per annum. Tesla has revealed impressive Q2 financial results that have beaten analysts' expectations. With record revenues of nearly $25 billion, increased cash reserves of over $23 billion in spite of record capital expenditure of over $2 billion, Tesla has demonstrated its financial strength during challenging macroeconomic times. Elon Musk has confirmed that Tesla is in early discussions with a major car manufacturer to license its full self-driving platform. Although the car maker in question is not currently publicly known, it is speculated to most likely be Ford, which was the first major company to announce adoption of Tesla's NACS charging system in the US. Tesla has confirmed that the length of the upcoming Cybertruck is no greater than 5.8 metres, which is longer than the Australian standard minimum garage length of 5.4 metres, although slightly shorter than the Australian average garage length of 6 metres. Elon Musk has announced an FSD transfer amnesty. This amnesty appears to apply to newly ordered cars that are delivered by the end of this quarter. It allows owners of an existing car with FSD to transfer it to their new car at no cost on a one-off basis. Tesla Australia and New Zealand has joined Instagram with the handle Tesla_AUNZ. It is expected in the near future to join Twitter or X or whatever that social media platform is called next. The Broome WAV Network Fast DC Charger site has become the first in the northwest region of Western Australia to be officially opened by Horizon Power. The 150 kilowatt Kempower charger is capable of adding 300 kilometres of range in a mere 30 minutes. Tesla's latest supercharger site in Western Australia is about to be fully operational in Lancelin. This will bring the total number of active sites in WA to 5. And that was this week's news. Indeed it was, and welcome everyone to a weird version of Ask Us Anything. And someone just shared something. Who's that? Dave P.
Not do that.
Yes, let's just not do
Dave
that.
P.
Yeah, so welcome. Now, apologies for keeping you so long. In YouTube land, you wouldn't have heard any of this pain, but there was lots of it. If there is anyone that is new that hasn't given up in disgust and would like to say hello, please do so in the next 5-10 seconds. Oh, or not, that's okay, cool. Alrighty, so yeah, as I said, it's been a huge news week. I think since we've got some audio problems, we might as well go straight to some audio content. Apologies for anyone watching this on YouTube. You may in the next few seconds just see images and not the actual audio, because I might get a copyright strike from YouTube. But let's just throw to this pretty good video clip from Tesla.
Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction.
And there you have it.
Cybertruck seats, eh?
Cybertruck seats. Yes, they are. So they're pretty cool. You can actually see you've got the Cybertruck sort of motif there with the angular sort of buttons. And I think there was an image confirming that the passenger side seat doesn't have lumbar support. So that's confirmed as that not happening. But anyway,
Swamp the bloody truck.
yes, I want my Cybertruck. And we've actually got some awesome images we got from the Q2 earnings call. And obviously it's Cybertruck related. And that's one of these. Going through some water testing. And I think the next page is a bit of mud testing. And that just looks pretty awesome. It really is.
And they're also going to need to move that windscreen wiper for other hand drive markets as well.
yeah, I don't think we're about to see very well. I just want one.
Yeah.
And I think there was another image I've also got since we're into Cybertruck. For anyone that likes F-150s, you too can have an F-150 wrapped Cybertruck if you want one. So of course that's in Tesla's workshop, and I think Munro and Associates actually had a bit of commentary about this. So we're analysing the HVAC system, which I think that's the main heat exchanger there, and you've got the compressor on this side. And they were noting that the Cybertruck frunk hasn't really got a lot of space. It's pretty short. In fact, you can see that because if you look at the slope just here of the F-150 sort of cutout, it basically sort of, that windscreen slopes to here, roughly, and then you've just got flat bonnet, whereas a Cybertruck's very slopey windscreen. So there you go. Just in case anyone wanted to say hello, if anyone wants to say hello now, please do. Or not, that's okay. All right, has anyone got any questions or comments? Obviously, we had an earnings report, which has been pretty impressive. Yeah, anyone got any questions or comments?
Typical. Q2.
I've got a feel.
Awesome. Okay, fine.
Go, David. Dave.
His hand up. Yeah, I dropped my car off on Friday at Bowra Panel and Paint. It had a little bit of damage in the rear wing. While it was there, they parked it on the council crossover, and a technician driving an Aston Martin lost control and rammed into the back of my car. The whole back end stuff that pushed it into a car that was parked beside it.
Oh my God.
So,
sorry,
at least
you're in the right place.
Please put it up if you can post that image now, because that makes sense now. So if you can please share that so we can have a good look.
At least it's in the right place to get fixed.
Wow, that's going to be an interesting omelette that they're going to have to try and unscramble.
Well, the guy that was driving the Aston Martin was a technician from Barbagallo. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yep. Oh, that's done.
That's severe.
That's done.
And have you got a photo of you at the back of your car?
Yeah, but I can't find it because I'm actually in Hong Kong at the moment, and I'm trying to do about 4 things simultaneously.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I
And
mean, the main thing
unlike
is
you, I'm not very good at it.
I only pretend, Dave. Trust me, I'm only pretending. Yeah, wow, that's pretty severe. That, and I dare say that was at a fair old speed, which is why he lost control. And it's wet. You can see it's wet too. So
It's got fiberglass wings. They're not aluminium. It's steel by how they're torn.
That license plate's really
That'll buff out.
that buff out.
that's going to cost
Who said-
$14.
who
for
said
that set of
no?
number plates.
Oh,
Should have
Yeah,
put
right.
ceramic coat on it.
Right. And it's just fiberglass, so they can just take it to a boat shop and
He'll probably
it'll
do that
handle,
for Tesla tomorrow
it'll
instead
handle
of
just the
Barbagallo.
same.
Yeah, that's done.
Deary me.
He wasn't going
Yeah,
20
right.
miles an hour, was he?
Luckily,
No.
Barbagallo are insured. They tell me.
Well, it doesn't really matter because your insurance company would pay for it if they couldn't, because it's not your fault, clearly. Because you won't, I mean, your car wasn't participating in any driving activity.
Well, I'm
There was
assuming,
no
I'm
one in
assuming
the car.
Barra's insurance will pay for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, or someone else. Yeah, absolutely. Paul, you've got your hand up. Sorry, and I think James, you had your hand up too. But yeah, Paul used to got yours.
No, mine is the Q2. I was just very excited about it all. I was losing my shit. And then, of course, the usual stock just goes crashes afterwards. I just go, I just don't get it. And Mary B.S. Barra, she says on the call yesterday, whatever, about some bullshit Ultium battery stuff in it, and the stock pops, and you're just going, she just is just talking, and Tesla's just, they're actually doing something. And yeah, just their dominance is just going to be unbelievable in everything that they sort of touch at the moment. I want people to wake up, but yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Can you hear this?
Bullshit. Yep.
Oh shit! I heard that myself. Sorry. I should have done a different one. I should have actually done.
The previous comments were general
Oh,
in
yes,
nature and shouldn't be
Well, I
taken
didn't
as
say anything
personal
about
professional.
buying.
No, that's right. It's all good. We're
Don't buy.
all shareholders. It's
Yeah.
all good. We're all grown ups.
I'm just sad because I still have to work.
And obviously, Elon Musk has stirred the hornet's nest. In fact, I'm going to ask Ken because Ken's in the room. So one of the things that Elon Musk committed to was an FSD amnesty on transferring full self-driving from a car you currently own to one that you want to own. But Ken, you've just recently got a performance Model Y, and you've also got a Model S that's got full self-driving. So do you qualify for this amnesty, Ken?
Careful, I'm going to smash something. But no, as it turns out. Who wants to buy my Performance Y? It's that one there. And then I'll order another one and then I'll transfer it. No, I've had confirmation from the Perth sales team that I need to order a new car to transfer my FSD. I can't transfer it to the one I literally has 2,000 kilometers on the clock. Yeah, so it's good that they're looking after the early adopters, and all of the early adopters on Twitter have been peeling Elon a new one along the same lines. We should have got James Locke on again and asked him what he thinks. But hello, James, if you're watching, I know you watch every week. But yes, I'm over it already. But I think I sent you some text messages earlier in the week going, what the. Anyway,
yes, I think it was something
maybe,
along the lines of,
oh,
they can't do this, and I said, "Oh, yes, they can."
Do what they want.
Why is it called an amnesty? FSD amnesty.
Well, it was like once off. It's like this once-off forgiveness that you'll be allowed to transfer FSD.
The thing that you
from one
paid
car to
for that
another.
you've never got to use. But of course, the irony is, of course, most of the people in the States have actually got to use it for about 18 months now. But for those of us outside of the North America, we never got to use it. So
I did. Stop some at traffic lights.
Yeah.
Totally
Actually,
worth it.
speaking of which, I had my first automatic emergency braking event, although I was already participating in starting to brake. What was really strange was I was getting off the exit on the freeway to Reed Highway going northwards to Reed Highway exit, and then this car basically cut another car off, and he sort of swerved lanes and slammed his brakes on, and I sort of saw this happening, and just as I was pushing my foot on the brake to stop, the brake pedal just disappeared because the car actually almost at the same time applied the brakes. And I must admit, I almost panicked because I thought, where the hell's my brake pedal gone? Like, I really need to press it now. But the car was already halfway through that activity. So, first.
That's
first
just
confirmed.
Elon. That's just Elon living up to the motto, the best part is no part. You don't need it.
So Harold,
It's a bit like you're talking at the moment. It happens and then your lips move.
I know, because I'm talking. Yes, right. When you see someone called iPhone at the bottom, well, for me, it's the bottom of the thing talking, and it's, yeah. Anyway, apologies for the lack of lip sync. It's better to hear my lips and no, whatever, it doesn't matter.
That's impressive, though, isn't it? I like the fact that you're about to have an accident, and these days the seatbelt will tighten before you even have your accident. That's impressive.
There's only one thing about that. I think that is not resettable. That's a pyrotechnic device. So if it happens and somehow by miracle you actually avert the accident, you're going to be up for the hundreds of dollars to replace your thingy, your seatbelt tensioner.
I don't think you can avoid that sort of accident.
No, it's true. Absolutely. Now speaking of things that have had an accident, sadly, this is Pardue Roadhouse. And I didn't have enough time to confirm it on Facebook, but I think the hot rumor is they are not going to rebuild because their insurance company didn't pay enough money. And it's a pretty sad sight to see. This will work. Whoops. Yeah, that's the first one. That's a Liberty sign that's just been blown over. That's another shot. And mind you, there are a whole lot of other dongers. So you can see there were actually dongers there. And I think I slept in that one over there. And there was one over here. And it's just carnage. And these solar panels look all right, except they're all bowed in.
Yeah, pretty much everyone is snapped, isn't it?
Yes, well, they're actually caved in. So they're all in their frames, but the actual glass is bowed in and shattered. This was the actual, it's funny. I don't know if there's anyone in the room. I don't know if Rob's in the room, but this was actually the outlet that you charge your car on. And it's actually in its best condition it's ever been, because beforehand it was longer and laying on the ground, and they'd finally got to saddle it to the actual building, but it's basically wrecked.
And that's the Harold where I had to borrow that 20 amp extension cord when I drove up to Broome that time from Tokwa.
Yeah, exactly. So precisely, this is, you can sort of see the flat bottom there. It's a little bit pixelated, but that's a 20 amp outlet. So that's a real shame. And obviously, so go, Ken.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh yeah, cool. So since we got little happy snaps, I might as well continue on because there are some good picks. I did obviously last Wednesday go to Broome for a 1 hour event. It took 6 days to get there. But one of the bonuses was I went past Karratha, and this is actually the cutouts for the foundations for the Karratha Horizon Power WIEV network charger. And that's another shot there. So the 4 outer holes are for the canopy, which has incorporated lighting and CCTV. And then this large one here is for the cabinet, and this one here is for the actual Kempower 150 kilowatt unit. And what was really interesting was they actually made up prefabricated, this is Bright Solar, they've made prefabricated formwork to actually pour the pads, so they're pre-made, and then you can see them there. And then I'll just skip over a few more, and they were actually fitting them on the way back. So I think this photo was taken last Thursday, and they'd actually craned them in. So the idea of that is that rather than having to go through all the palaver of formwork and the risk of someone writing on it or scribbling on it or it raining or whatever, they basically just lay a bed of sand and then lower these prefabricated foundations straight down, which is pretty cool.
That's really clever, yeah.
Yeah, so, and these guys, they actually, it's Bright Solar. They've got the contract to do Karratha, Port Hedland, Nanya Tara. I think they're quoting on the northern ones, so towards, Pardue is one site that's sort of slated as that'll be an off-grid site, obviously. And they're also doing Esperance and Norseman. because they have an associated company that they own or are associated with. So they're doing quite a lot of sites, and they're also doing Billabong Homestead Roadhouse. And this is actually a copy of the plans that I took a photo of that the manager at Billabong showed me. So you basically got, it's approximately 50 kilowatts of solar panels. I think there are 90 panels. So if they were sort of like 450 watt panels, which is pretty common these days, that's actually 40 kilowatts. And then you've got your battery storage. And I think I've got a photo. This is it here. This is one section of the Billabong Homestead Roadhouse. That's where the actual charger setup will go. And that X marks the spot is exactly where it is off the highway. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
The manager indicated that he thought it was going to be installed in August, but I think that might be a little bit ambitious, but who knows? But you know, it's still pretty exciting that that's actually happening. And I think the Karratha site will be installed fairly soon. The Carnarvon site I frustratingly went past and I wasn't quite ready, but it's effectively just ready to be commissioned as soon as they get an inspector to inspect the main switchboard. Because even though Horizon Power does all their own work, they have separate inspectorates and other mechanisms to make sure they do the right thing.
Anything at Manila as you drove past there?
Yes. The short answer is no. They're not doing it at Manila. So they're actually doing it at the turnoff to Exmouth, which is 5 kilometres north of Manila. So it's actually got no facilities whatsoever. I don't know if that means they're going to put like a dump site or a dry toilet or something But there, yeah. I really don't know why they chose that instead of Manila. I could only infer perhaps that Manila was deemed not suitable, or maybe Manila didn't want the involvement or something, or didn't have land available or something. And I guess at worst,
presumably they're going to Starlink
sorry, go on.
and CCTV.
All of Western Power's, all of Horizon Power's sites have CCTV as part of the canopy. So you can't really see it, but it's actually just behind here, behind this panel here. There's a CCTV camera just behind here, basically facing down towards the charger. And you can also see the fluoro lights. They've got inbuilt lighting as well.
That's brilliant. But I mean, yeah, they've got to have satellite, presumably, to get comms to that.
No, apparently they are using Yagis.
Yeah, right.
So they're just using Yagis. So, for example, Manila, they're 5 kilometres north. I'll just try and find it on. I was going to actually take a photo, but it was nighttime and I was following behind a truck that was doing 100 k's an hour, and I just didn't want to lose him because the kangaroos were out of control, and I just wanted to have a street sweeper. So I just decided not to slow down and take a photo. So the actual thing is, if we go to the layers, so you've got Manila Roadhouse is just here, right here, and 5 k's up the road, it's somewhere. I don't know if it's inside this rest area or if it's probably adjacent to it, somewhere along here. It was actually pegged out, but like I said, it was nighttime and I just didn't want to risk slowing down and losing the truck, so I couldn't take a photo, unfortunately. But that's where it is. It's on the Manila Exmouth Road and the Northwest Coastal Highway. But like I said, it's only 5 k's to Manila. So all you got to do is, if you need a comfort stop or food or drink or whatever, just grab it at Manila and then just drive 5 k's north, top up. The great news is, I think one of the images I've got, oh yes. So this was my first charging profile. I arrived at 1% from 80 Mile Beach Caravan Park. And I only maxed out at 116 kilowatts because I've got the battery only goes to 400 volts roughly. And you can notice how it's at the 30 minute mark right there. And in those 30 minutes, I put in 300 Ks. So because I arrived with less than 5 Ks or basically 5 Ks, and I added 300 kilometers in 30 minutes. And that's 100 Ks more than I have to do to get to the next place. So really this thing about 20 minutes is deadly accurate. You know, you really don't need to spend a lot of time. And I must admit, I was doing a couple of tweets, taking a couple of photos, and I was pressed for time, like I was overcharging basically more than I wanted to. So these things really are awesome. And obviously I had to take the obligatory Cable Beach photo because these things really are off-road cars. Oh, this one here. See how you've got this dinosaur? It's like a whatever dinosaur. And you see it's a bit blurry there. It actually thought it can recognize dinosaurs as humans. So it's good to see that the car doesn't discriminate against dinosaurs.
Well, it wouldn't want to run it over, you know.
Well, precisely. And then, of course, you've got a bit of a camel train happening.
Is that before you had to get winched off the beach, or?
Well, it's funny you say that, Ken, but I've got off-road mode. So, and I made sure I used it on the sand. And yeah, no, I was fortunate not to. It was low tide actually, but I sort of stayed. I managed to stay away. And there's another camel train. And this is the day that actually opened. So they've got a Horizon Power. Have got a Hyundai Kona, and in this case, there are actually 3 cars charging simultaneously. So I was just on the Type 2, on the long lead. So the actual outlet is behind this, in front of this gentleman, behind this gentleman, sorry, whatever. And then you've got the 2 DC chargers. And I think, that's for anyone that wants to get a little bit of meter box porn. You got 240 square mil copper XLPE PVC cable coming in, which is pretty big. And these are the 2 cars. The Volkswagen, that's a gentleman who lives in Broome. He's actually a helicopter pilot that takes choppers out to the rigs. So his name's Dylan. So for him, he had about a 3 kilometre drive, and I had about a 2,400 kilometre drive, and all I got was a charge. And that's the reverse.
A lot brighter than you, Harold.
Sorry, say again.
He's obviously a lot brighter than you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, but you know, and this is actually the testing unit. So Horizon Power, because their sites are by definition remote and they don't have many EVs up there, they've actually got this complete fast DC charger tester. The only thing it can't test is on load, but it can do all the other tests. So they actually send these out to the electricians that have installed these chargers, and they just basically run a few tests to make sure that everything's working okay. And that's about it. Apart from, you know, the sky is just amazing out in the bush, as I'm sure many of you know. It's just amazing.
No dim photos now?
Sorry?
No dim sim photos?
No dim sims. No, I had a bit of bully beef as emergency rations because the 80 Mile Beach Caravan Park closes pretty early, like at 6 o'clock. So yeah. But anyway, and I think that's about it for the photos. I'll just do a quick little check. I think that was, yeah, that's it. So there you go. Whereas I believe everyone in Perth had an awesome casual meetup at the Camfield.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
A bit out of control. Richard Cooper caused a bit of grief, started causing a bit of thinking. Richard fired up. It's gone now. It was good. Good night. Good to see Ken
Excellent.
there, for sure. Ken was there. James, you there? Alex, you were there? Paul, you there?
There was quite a few.
Richard Chapman wasn't there,
I was very.
but he's obviously got cutbacks with that small camera that he's got going on. Obviously, some cutbacks going on since there's some things happening in the courts at the moment. I think all the money's going to the lawyers.
Yes, well, you wouldn't want anyone to blow a fuse or to feel like they're under pressure. But to that end, we actually found out something new, which is the cars now report overpressure, which is something new with the 2023.26. something software revision. So you can see it's got that's the tire that's overpressured. Actually, if we just go back to previous tweet, this was my car last week, and it was happily at high pressure. And then if we just go back to this is what happens when it does go over pressure. They all go red because they're all over. And what actually happens is that the trigger point is 54 psi, so that's 12 psi over your 42 recommended. If you take it back down to the 51, you'll notice it's still red because it needs to see 50. So if you go 12 over, it'll trigger. If you then go back to only 8 over, it'll reset. So that's something that's new with Tesla's firmware. Something else that's not as great being new is that this was in my car, and it's, like I said, it's got 2023.26.1, I think. It seems that now the recommended daily charge limit is 80%.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually looked at my wife's car, who's got the older, and they're identical, and she's got the older version of software, and hers still shows 90%. So, Paul, you're actually in the room.
Yeah.
In your car. What does yours say? If you're in the 3, sorry.
Yeah, I'm in the 3. It's
90.
fine.
90.
It still says 90.
90.
And what software have you got?
7.4.5.3.
23.20.9.
That's what my wife's got. Yep. That's yeah. So it looks like when you get a software update, it's plausible that you will go to the 80% mark. I did talk to Tesla today, just local Tesla, to see if they knew anything about it, and they didn't. So we're trying to work out, is this I'm hoping it's an error, but I fear that it might be a new paradigm, and maybe Tesla's decided to be a bit more conservative. And as far as what difference, someone asked on Twitter, what is the range difference between a standard Model 3 and Y? And the answer is that at 80%, my Model Y has 380 k's range of performance, and a standard Model Y shows 430 at 100%. So what it sort of does is if you just want a car as a daily driver around town, or if you're going to use the WEV network, which has got chargers every 200 k's and they're very fast chargers, the best value car you can get is a standard range. It's the cheapest. It's the easiest to use. You set your charge limit to 100% all day, every day. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to fiddle with it. It just works, and it's the cheapest. So there you go. Alrighty. So has anyone else got any other questions or comments?
Harold, I've got to leave. You asked earlier about a picture of my car.
Yes, please do. Yeah. Show us.
You can see where the damage started, and it pushed my car into the one beside it. They reckon the front left wheel and suspension is shot. So I've got damage on both sides.
Buff out.
Yeah, I'll buff out.
I
Tell them
reckon.
to write it off and give you a brand new car. That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Terrible.
is that a performance? That's a performance car, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a performance.
I think
Oh.
you're going to get a new car because
Yeah,
that's
that's-
pretty bad, and I reckon that's pretty sufficient
Pretty
to
not-
probably write off.
Yeah.
The front driver's side wheel is damaged as well. They reckon 3 of the wheels are damaged.
Oh, that's dumb.
I reckon that
Yeah.
might be done. To be
What
honest.
about chassis twisting as well?
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
It's a
that's a
write-off.
rear casting. No, sorry, no. Yes, it is. It's a rear cast. I think that car's done. You can unfortunately we can't zoom in, but you got creasing on the C pillar. I think that car's done.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be more
I'd be
expensive
pushing.
to repair.
I'd be
And then-
pushing hard to say that you want that written off. You just want a new car, thanks.
Yeah, I've already
Especially
got a
being with
new car. I've got my wife's standard range at home, so
You have a new one now, Dave.
Yeah.
well the wife's car's only done 2,600 kilometers, so
Start picking
Yeah.
the colour you want in your car.
sorry.
Start picking the colour you want.
I like the red, but I don't know if they use it for target practice. It sort of pushed me off.
Maybe go the grey. The silver. The silver looks nice.
I'm sure he had to swerve several times before he hit it. In fact,
was
he probably
actually-
was swerving.
It was actually, I heard it was actually Carmen that actually hit it.
Oh, really?
Story I'm hearing. It's the rumour around town, but I mean,
Jared.
Well, I do have to go to Tesla.
we just started now.
What's this
You set her off,
upgrade?
Jared.
Set her off.
Anyway, folks, I've got to go.
All right, thanks, Dave. Look, really sorry to hear that, but
Right.
yeah, I'd be pressing for a new car, Dave. Seriously, that's not good at all. But
Yeah, but I don't know how much at the moment is a new performance costing.
Doesn't matter. Free.
oh no, well actually, it's about 7,000. No, sorry,
It's cheaper, isn't it?
it's about $4,000 or $5,000 cheaper than it was.
Ah.
So the prices have actually come down.
Yeah,
So-
I saw something on that. Yeah.
As soon as you can get a hold of a lawyer, probably next couple of months, when there's one available. then,
Well, my grandson's a lawyer, so I'll talk to him.
there you go, exactly.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, sad to hear that, Dave. But yeah, safe travels and enjoy your stay in Hong Kong.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again. But yeah, please get back to us and let us know what eventually happened.
I will do. Cheers.
Awesome. Take care.
Bye.
Oh, that's terrible. That really is terrible.
Hey, Carmen,
Yes.
is that some
Hello.
natural gas?
Hello,
gas going
Jared.
on? Hello, Carmen. How are you? Is
Very
that
good, and you?
is that some natural gas going on in the background there? In your background, is that the winter lights or something going on
Yes, that's in Lapland,
in Lap? Oh, okay, cool.
but I am in Perth.
Oh,
I haven't left. Hey,
Oh.
what's happening with this service business of the rear harness?
okay, Harold. Okay, let's go straight to.
I don't know that.
Alex
Sorry,
Davis.
tell us more. Carmen.
There
What-
is a rear harness recall, and it says check vehicle status, and then it says parts are now available for your vehicle. Request service to perform the recall repair. So you push the button, and then it's just got outstanding work, rear harness recall. But it's been like that for a week.
Is that the one with the? Is that in the boot? There was
Yeah,
an
that's
issue
it.
with
It'll be the trunk lid harness retrofit, which there was a recall on. I think 17 to 20 Model 3s.
Yeah, cool. So Carmen, they'll just. I think that might be able. And do you know if it's done by a ranger, like by Ben coming out, or do you have to book your?
My understanding is it's
say.
a service center.
Yeah.
It's a service center recall, but
Is that
blah, 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 blah.
Had I known, had you asked me earlier, Cohen, I would have asked him because I was there today getting a windscreen replaced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of taking my car in because I've got a couple of little things I want to talk to them about.
Yep.
It says here how to schedule a service appointment, open the Tesla app, tap service, follow the on-screen prompts, but it doesn't give me any.
Oh, there'll be a prompt that says recall. There'll be an item probably towards the bottom that says recall.
Yeah, I pressed the button. Oh, recall info. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
You're right.
So look, it's possible it could be a mobile service. So the recall is for a coax cable that runs to the boot, and basically they inspect it, and if it hasn't had too much wear, then they basically put the remedial action on it. If it's had too much wear, then they have to strip the cable out and replace it, which is a 40-minute job apparently. But in many cases, in many cases, it should just be an inspection and a check, and then they'll sign it off. So you should be able to book it as a mobile.
About a couple of little trims and things, and so I might as well drive it in.
Yeah, if you've got other concerns, then book a service center, and they'll probably be able to do it at the same time.
Yep, great. So to book it,
they're in Osborne Park. Tommy, you know where that is?
The what?
They're in Osborne Park. You probably don't know where that is.
Yes, I do. Number 1 Main Street, on the corner opposite Audi.
It's not in your your area that you go in. It's not Netherlands.
It's not really, but I have learned to travel to Scarborough Beach Road a lot. Because all
Just
the
drive down
suppliers
Scarborough
are
Beach Road until you see the big OnlyFans sign and turn right.
It's special occasions. I get out.
Come on, Damo. Come on. Does she work at your
Deary me. Alrighty. Chuck, welcome. I don't know if you were there before. I just noticed you just then, but then again, I've been a bit stressed out with audios and stuff. So apologies if you've been there all along.
No, I've just been sitting here in the background. That's all.
Ah, cool. Very good.
Right.
Yes. So go on.
I'll say it's kind of fortunate that you started late because we actually had our Ava branch meeting tonight.
Oh,
so
cool.
I was able to get home at 9:30 my time. Had about half an hour break to get something to eat, and then you were late starting. So I started at 10 p.m. my time, so it worked out well.
Oh, perfect. So good news is frustratingly, I don't know this for certain. Oh, and sorry, who was the lady from Walpole? Michelle.
Yeah.
She was, I think she's left us. But
Michelle.
Michelle. So she was excited about Walpole, and she's correct. What she said, which, if I recall correctly, was that Walpole is being commissioned tomorrow. So, frustratingly, I'm going to Walpole tomorrow just for a day trip because I'm stupid. And if the Lancelin supercharger isn't already powered up, it's almost certain to be powered up tomorrow.
Then you'll go there the next day.
Till Friday, yeah. But no doubt someone else will have a look in the meantime. But it's, for all intents and purposes, going to be operational probably by the end of this week, if it isn't already. Cool. And unfortunately, Tesla are notoriously slow in adding it to your car's map and adding it to the map in your app. So the same thing happened to Williams and Margaret River. It was actually running for quite a few days. I think Williams was many days, like maybe a week or more before it actually popped up on people's screens, but it was still up and running.
Yeah, Margaret River was a bit of a debacle because it was on and then it was off and then it was on and then it was off. But so let's not talk about Margaret River. Is not a good example.
No.
That's right.
So that's awesome news. So that's going to be our 5th supercharger, and there are, by the way, quite a few more to come. So you just got to watch this space.
Secrets. I don't know. I actually do have a question for you about the WA EV network.
Yes.
What's the time frame on the Norseman site?
I don't know if you caught it before, but the contractors that were doing it, which is Bright Solar, they have got the job, or their associates have got the job to actually do the install for Norseman and Esperance. I don't know. Look, I'll take that one on notice, Chuck, because I'll give them a buzz and try and find out. I presume you're aiming for November, aren't you, for the national EVA meeting?
I am. I'm going to be passing through there 3 times, believe it or not.
That's awesome.
And the first time is the 26th of October.
Ah, very good. Right. Yeah. Cool. And when you're going to get, I just don't know. I'll try and find out.
Yeah.
So, for example, I think it was by David Lloyd who took a photo and posted it up on one of the Facebook forums. The Warman WAEV network has basically been installed, just hasn't been commissioned. The Norseman one, there's nothing there yet because it was actually, and apologies if you can hear tapping and stuff, but I'll just get the right image. So what they've done, they're doing this sort of setup where it's all they basically cut the holes. That's them there. I said the 4 posts, the 4 corners are the actual canopy, steel canopy, your main big switchboard, and then the actual charger itself. Bearing in mind that the ChargeMate and PayMate are both hanging off this main switchboard, and then they've prefabricated formwork and they've pre-done it. So what they're going to do is, this is in Karratha, they're going to make a batch of these and then truck them to the various locations and then just crane them in. And that's the finished product there.
Yeah. So
you can actually see it. And you can actually see that's the PayMate where you pay by credit card. And just to the right of that is the ChargeMate for the backup charging. So you said October. Look, I think that's very plausible that that'll be done, Chuck. In fact, I'm almost all but certain that will be done. I think the only ones that might be a little bit later are the off-grid locations. So the Nullarbor I wouldn't be counting on. But bearing in mind, Nullabor's not too bad because you've got 22 kilowatt delta at Balladonia and Majura Pass, and you've got if it still works, the Tritium at Kaiguna.
Yeah.
And you're taking your awesome Model 3.
I am. I'm doing the trip over basically 4 weeks, and I'll be sleeping in the car about 2/3 of that.
Oof.
Which will be tough. I've got like a few strings that are like 4 or 5 days at a time.
No.
Maybe, but it's all the whole thing's on a budget. So
yes, very good.
When the ferry costs $900, that's about a quarter of my total thing.
Yeah, actually, you're right too, because I booked the ferry to Tassie for, I think it's August, and you're right. It was $900. It's not cheap.
Yeah,
it used to be 90. How come it's gone up so much?
Maybe the cars got heavier.
That's the passenger ticket, the car ticket, and the room. They don't do single bunks anymore like they used to. So you have to book the whole room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because last time I went across, the car was 70, but I paid 90 because it was a high vehicle.
No.
But then the room I think was 250, and that was it.
What's the room? What do you get in the room?
Oh, they're really good rooms.
Hotel room.
Depends which room you're in, but they're not all that good.
Okay. Well,
some of them are really, really cramped. It's like two bunks in a room that's about 3 bunks wide.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like a combined toilet shower, like you see in camper vans.
Did I hear you say you're going to stay in your car, Chuck?
I am.
You should speak to Pete Petrosky, because he's got a whole camping section of how to stay in your car for 38 days without a shower. So you might speak to Pete, and he can give you a full rundown on how it works. And a couple of cans later, cans of air freshener, you'll be good to go. So
that was in a Model Y, wasn't it, Pete?
It was.
And you just throw away the seat covers at the end.
Yeah, you'll never get carjacked, Pete said. He said this guy tried to jack his car and just went up and went, no way, man. Waited for the next one. So
Yeah, well, you know, in the Model Y, there's way more space for the air to circulate, but in the Model 3, it's a bit more cramped. So
All I can say is thank God for bioweapon defense mode.
I don't have that. Ooh. It doesn't really help if the bioweapon is inside the car, though, does it?
True.
That's all right. But I've looking at my schedule, I've got I've got 3 days from Hobart to Port Augusta, so 2 days from Melbourne to Port Augusta, from Geelong to Port Augusta. A week to get to Kalgoorlie. Then a week to get to Perth, and I'm going down the south coast that way.
Oh, you're going to come to Perth. Oh.
And when I say a week, I mean it's 5 days because the AVA conference starts on Thursday. And then after that, from the Monday after the conference, we've got a week to get back to close enough to Port Augusta, basically.
Oh, that's easy, Chuck.
Yeah, the hardest part is the week after because it's only 5 days, but it's still about 500 kilometres a day, so that looks easy enough.
Yeah.
Mate, you're going to be in Perth for a couple of days, aren't you?
I will. I'll
Maybe
be.
do a catch up. You know, we'll catch up at the pub or something and have a drink.
Well, I'm working out. I'll arrive in Perth on. This is my very rough schedule. I'll arrive in Perth on the evening of. It'll be a Wednesday evening on the 1st of November.
We won't want to see you till Sunday. That way, the smell is being taken away a bit. So, might be shower since then. So,
well, if I'm lucky, I'll be staying at of my relative's place in Ferguson Valley. So I'll be able to stop and actually have a real bed and a real shower for a couple of days.
Very good.
Maybe.
Very good. So sorry, what that was the 1st of November, did you say?
The 1st, yeah.
1st, yeah, awesome.
I mean, it's all very flexible when you're living in your car. It's very you can sort of go whenever you want, but yeah.
That's right. If you wake up at 2 a.m. and you just can't get back to sleep, you can always bash out a couple of hundred k's down the road.
Clearly, we'll have to do the Wednesday, 1st of November as a casual meetup. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, I can't play with my phone. Is that actually? That might actually be a casual meetup.
I think it might. I think it might be the Wednesday roll. Yeah,
which is
and we could treat Chuck just like COVID. Just stay away from him. Like keep your distance to the smell. It'll be all right. So
fair enough.
Dearie me. Let's have a look. 1st of November.
So we could go down
yes,
to
Eastern
then, could we?
That's perfect, Chuck. It is. 1st of November is the scheduled Wednesday meetup.
Yeah,
cool. Cool.
So perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I've got four days of the conference. 3 or 4 days. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Perfect. That's cool. And then you got. Did you say 5? You got 5 days to get back, or no, a week-ish to get back.
Yeah. 5 days. So leave on the Monday. I want to get back to Cleve, which is near Port Augusta by the Friday night. So 5 days of driving. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because I'm due to leave on the 16th to go your way, Chuck, of November.
Of August? No?
No. Oh, that's the second one. That's in November.
Oh, yeah.
On the 16th.
Again?
Yeah, that's the fast lap. So, yeah, you can't take a significant other on a fast lap. They just won't tolerate that sort of behaviour. So,
that's crazy.
Well, you'll beat me back there though, anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it looks like I should get back on the ferry on the 15th of November. So it'll be basically 4 weeks total.
Are you doing all that, Harold?
Well, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I've convinced my wife to take a month. Well, she's taking a month off, so we're going to do a slow lap, and we'll go and visit Chuck. So we'll reciprocate and visit Chuck in Tassie. Yep. And then I'll probably drop my wife off at Darwin so she can catch a flight back, and then I'll just finish the lap off in a few days after that. And then there's just another one in November, just a solo.
Yeah,
Anyway, moving right along. But yeah, that's awesome, Chuck. So yeah, please do try and make it by the Wednesday, because we'll do a casual meetup and you'll be the guest of honor.
Yeah, I'll sort of I'll just make sure my schedule's exact, and I'll send it. I'll send a copy of my route and everything.
Yeah, cool, awesome. And of course, if you need any local knowledge, sorry, you're an experienced driver. You know how to. I mean, you've had to bash yourself with a leaf, so it won't be any adversity for you at all.
That's it.
So it'll be super easy.
Yeah. No, it's all. I've been watching the previous trips that you and Pete and everyone have done, and David and Ken, and all the long trips you've done. I'm trying to work out all the non-EV related things, like are there, like, you tend to leave first thing in the morning, 7 or 8 in the morning or something like that, and drive. Once you get somewhere, are there just, do roadhouses just let you have a shower in the middle of the day or something like that, or all the non-EV logistics?
They make you shower before you walk in there. So
okay, right, fair enough. That's good.
Yeah, there's a fire hydrant. There's a fire hydrant and a hose, and they just hose you down.
Yeah.
I don't know how to rough it. I know Pete roughed it, but he basically stayed at the caravan park section of all the roadhouses.
Yeah.
So that's where you've got shared ablutions and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, of course, you can do that. But I don't know if you ask them how much a shower is. They may have just a casual shower rate.
Yeah, it's generally about $3 a shower. Port Augusta is a classic example there.
You can get a budget rate if you share with somebody else. Just a random stranger. You just share the shower. It's cheaper that way.
Just don't drop the soap.
He puts $1.50 in. It's magic.
Stop it now.
Stop it. This is a family show.
Now, I am on a budget, but I'm not on that much of a budget.
Yes.
A couple of little pro tips. So, for example, when you get to Nullarbor, if I can just show up, when you go to Nullarbor Roadhouse, you can actually get to Mundrabilla in one hit. You don't have to bother with Border Village or Eucla, because those two places can be awkward. Eucla in particular, you just don't go to the motor hotel. Look, it's okay if you're desperate, and I have used it, as you can actually see. But what it is you have to actually get access to the laundry and unplug one of the dryers and then plug it in, and you need an extension cord, and it's across steps and blah blah. It's just not convenient. So you try and avoid it. And then if you look at Border Village is sort of a little bit similar in that it's behind and it's in a shed, and it's a bit of a pain. And the main thing is, if you top right up at Nullarbor Roadhouse, you can go straight to Mundrabilla, and I forget the distances, but it's something like 300 kilometres. It's really easy. So just a couple of little things there. And Penong is great too. So you can go from Penong straight to Nullarbor, and do top up at Ceduna, and Putra is great at the hotel. So you're
not on Mondays.
Don't drive at night, Chuck.
Not on Mondays.
Yep, they were closed on Mondays.
Oh, right.
I found it out the hard way.
You can still use the power. You just got to find out way to pay them.
I tried to, because I had used it going from west to east, so coming back east to west, parked up, tried to, and I couldn't turn on the 3-phase power.
Oh, right.
And I was prepared to throw money under the door, because we did get a good relation as we drove across to meet with them. So no, that was when I had to go Port Augusta to Ceduna on the one charge.
He wasn't thinking you're going to plug that fan in, was he, Steve?
Say again?
He wasn't thinking you're going to plug that big fan in behind you. That's what you need the power.
Well, that would have been handy.
So Chuck, are you going to go to the Whaler Veterinary Clinic?
I think I might be. I will be coming via Cal. If you go back to the map again.
Via Kalgoorlie, you mean?
No, Cal down south.
Oh, sorry. Oh, Cal, this one.
Yeah.
Cal,
so I'll be going via there on one direction. Actually via Cleve, just to the west. But yeah, I'll be going past Whaler, so I'll have to stop in there and make the most of their charging?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll certainly make a point to use them. Although I think the most direct route, unless you go sort of across down this way, is there is a turn off. It's a 45-degree angle at Iron Knob. So you just turn right at Iron Knob and go straight to the Weller. It's a bit of it's a little bit out of your way, but is there another one? What the hell's that? Oh, that's the RAA one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Which I keep meaning to report to PlugShare, but I haven't yet.
Oh, me too. Because you've got all this whole cluster of all these coming soons, and they're just ridiculous. It's just someone's gone crazy, and they're all exactly the same. They all have the same link. They have this link to the RAA, and it's just polluting. It's misleading. It's just not helping anyone really. Whereas I know that Tassie's only got 2 coming soon.
Oh, there's
4. Sorry, there's 4, a little bit more maybe.
There's those 2 up the northwest.
Yep.
That one right down the south is actually working. I don't know why it's reporting as under maintenance.
You mean the Signet Old Town Hall?
Yeah, but that's working. And if you zoom in on Hobart, there'll be a few more under construction.
Ah, right. So, yes.
Yeah. That one.
There's a couple. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
you guys are so I was going to say, you guys are so well coded for. It's just awesome.
Yeah. About a third of those are 25 kilowatt ones, but you know they're the ones that are in between the other ones, so it's fine.
Yeah, we need
we
need to buy some Rivian shares, Chuck, so we can actually get PlugShare. They need a different color for slow DC, because 25 kilowatts should really be a different color. There should be some other color, or light orange, or something that isn't misleading, because 25 kilowatts is not fast. Or sorry, if they're the ABBs, they're 22 kilowatts, and that's just not fast.
Yeah, everything from 22 to 350 is the same color if it's DC, which doesn't really help you much.
22 kilowatts is still AC on some older Teslas. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's just Charles, can I recommend one thing? You've obviously got Harold's number, but see if you can get Rob's number, or send me a text and I'll give you Rob's number. He knows Australia like the back of his hand, and EV stuff, but he knows all the stops, all the roadhouses, and he knows the histories behind them. Both him and Robin have gone around Australia a couple of times, like Harold, and just encyclopedias, walking encyclopedias. So if you've got Harold and Rob on Faststyle, they're the best phone of friends you could ever ask for.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'll do that. I've only scheduled for about 500 Ks a day, and if I can do more, then if more DC charges pop up, then I'll jump ahead. But apart from that, I'm sort of leaving myself a bit of breathing room, so that just in case.
Charles, one advice: just don't drive at night.
Yeah.
There's too much freaky shit comes out at night. Don't drive.
That's right.
Just keep it during the day.
And the thing is, because you're sleeping in your car, you've got a lot of flexibility. So just see how you go. So if you have a good day and you can do another couple hundred Ks to the next roadhouse, just do that, and then chill out and relax at another time. You just take it easy. You slow down a bit. You just do 100 Ks or 90 if you want to spend less time by the side of the road, because your car can recover roughly 70 Ks an hour, 75 Ks an hour. Technically, if you drive at 75 Ks an hour, that's perfect, but it's a little bit slow. So you just do your 100, say, and none of the gaps are too big, so you don't have to worry about range. It's just worrying about efficiency.
Yeah.
Because it takes a long time to recover that. But unless you can borrow someone's slow DC charger, if there's anyone in Tassie that's got one of those portable ones, which are some of them are actually quite cheap on Alibaba.
No,
but,
I'm just getting the 3-phase socket ones, so I can do my 11 kilowatts. That's it. But because I'm in the because it's a 3, I'm fairly tight on space, so I decided not to worry about that. And I'm also, and you might gasp at this, not bringing a spare tire. I don't know if that's going to be a really
take
good
it.
idea or not.
It's not so bad because
Pete's
a
making
lot
a
of
face.
a lot of the risks are up north. That's
Right.
where, like, if you get a flat up north, your car's going to be at risk if you
Yeah.
have to leave it to go somewhere or whatever.
Yeah.
Chuck, if you don't have a spare tire, you're going to make sure you've got phone coverage. So I presume you're not taking a Starlink with you, but have you got maybe even rent a satellite phone or something? Because if you get a flat, in the middle of nowhere, I mean,
There's more traffic going by on that road, though.
but I mean, they won't be able to help you. They might be going past, but how?
Send a text.
Make sure to punch a kid.
No matter where you are, if you send a text, it'll get through, especially at night. It'll always get through, even if you've got no coverage.
Okay. Interesting. Maybe I should. I'm just trying to think where I'm going to fit it in the car. That's all.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
You need a little puncture repair kit just as an emergency. That might
Yeah.
one of those. That they're good.
Yeah.
So if you go to Super Cheap, for less than $50, $45, and obviously bring yourself either a battery powered compressor or like Tesla's one where you just put it into the cigarette lighter. Yeah, and that puncture repair kit on Richard Chapman's Model X that I used to own. I think I ran one of those repairs for about 35,000 Ks, and it was only a temporary repair, and it went really, really well.
You left it that there.
One thing that kid doesn't have is a pair of pliers. So if you do get a screw or a nail or something, just pack a pair of pliers in because you won't be able to get it out by hand.
Yeah.
The one I've got is a 4x4, and it does have pliers with the kit.
Oh, does it? Cool.
Yeah. So
Where'd you get
I
that
did
one from,
Leo.
Paul?
That was Autobahn in Balcata.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
The
like
4x4 are good.
Yeah, I did Leonie's
ARB
car
have
the
a
other
good
day, so she's
ARB have a good one.
she's had one too, so that was cool.
Yeah, the 4x4 ones are good because they're a little bit more rugged and they've got a bigger handle for
really good.
Yeah, that tool that you use to
The reamer.
the reamer,
Yeah.
that reaming tool, that's it there. Because if you've got a tiny little handle, it will just dig into your hand and it's incredibly painful.
Oh, that's a reamer there. Yeah, that one. But they're both the same handle size. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're very good. Yeah, because the Tesla ones are really hard to get into. I've done one on mine, and I've driven that for, I don't know, 20,000 Ks or something, and then I've done Leonie's maybe 1,000 Ks ago. So, yeah, no, they're great.
So just get one of those, Chuck. They're cheap.
Yeah.
And the good thing is you'll probably never need to use it.
That's it. You never plan for these things, do you?
No.
I've never had a
Maybe get a bottle of goo as well. Tire goo.
Yeah.
So, I'm back, boys. I've got to show you something. This is what I bought for my Model Y. I'll try and show you. Let's do it like this, and it's a little kit. And in the kit, you got a inflator for your car.
Yep.
And you've got all your tire repair stuff and all that.
Is this when you go to the shops, Richard?
And it comes with your pliers and your knife and everything.
Oh.
One kit. And it doesn't really quite fit in the front area of the Model Y under the floor. So if you get a heat gun and you just put a bit of heat on there, it fits in perfectly. So there you go. So that's so you can repair it and then reinflate it. That was
brilliant, Richard.
$50 online. I can't remember where I got it, but look it up. You'll find it.
The only thing that concerns me is that reaming tool. Can you show that in front of the camera? Does that look like it had one of those tiny little handles?
Yeah, but he was searching.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
You got to remember, he's a man. He's drilled all his life.
That's
drilled all his life. He doesn't have to worry about any of that sort of stuff.
So there you go. So I had to show
Very
you that.
good.
fillings, tire replacements, it's all the same thing.
Very good.
So I mean, you can repair it, but if you can't inflate it, you've got a problem.
That's it.
Yeah, I've got one of the rechargeable inflators, so I just keep that in my center console plugged into the USB.
So you
I've got one of those. They work really well. The problem with the rechargeable ones, if you're trying to put 45 psi in a big tire, you run out of oomph.
Hopefully it won't come to that. It'll just be enough to top up occasionally.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get a flat, you want to be able to spend 15 minutes filling it right up again anyway.
Yeah.
Chuck, also another option, if you wanted to take a spare with you, you can always just grab a chain or some sort of a lock, and you can just pull it out when you're sleeping in the bed and just chain it to one of your other wheels.
Oh yeah.
And keep it outside while you sleep, and then just have a tarpaulin or something so you don't get the bed dirty and just
yeah. And when you leave in the morning, if you unchain it, it will wake you up. It'll keep you awake for the next 100
As it goes dung 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 dung.
You'll have a 5-wheeler.
You know, the only option that I'm thinking of is putting it in front of the passenger front seat and put the seat all the way forward to hold it there. I don't know if there's space there for it. Don't know if
in the model,
it'd be big enough.
Harold and I had our spares. We had the modern spares, which are a little bit narrower, but same circumference. But we had them just behind the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Actually,
No,
did we?
no,
No,
we didn't.
that's
No.
behind
That's where we had the
driver's seat,
charger.
sorry.
We had the charger there.
Yeah.
I can't
I
remember
had
where
mine
we
behind
had.
the driver.
Yeah, maybe that's where I had mine too. I can't remember.
And I remember I had to pull mine out every time to use the charger, which is a bit of a pain, but it was all right.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see.
No, it's going to be a good trip, Chuck. And look, Norseman will be fine because we're talking November, and I'm all but certain that Norseman and Esperance, for that matter, and don't know about Ravensthorpe. So Ravensthorpe is the next one along.
Yep.
That's. I mean, there is actually a tritium there, and there is a chance that might get fixed. That's got 20. I think it's 20 kilowatts at the moment. No, it's 19. But look, that's not too bad. That's still twice as fast as you'll get.
That's it, yeah.
And Esperance will be done by then. And I forget the distance between Esperance and Albany. So are you going via Albany as well on your trip?
Yeah. So basically going south from Kalgoorlie back down to Esperance and then along until I'm not sure which way. It's near Collie. Ferguson Valley's near Collie. So
right, yes. So you said Kalgoorlie, but I guess what you meant was Norseman. So you'll be just turning left at Norseman.
Well, actually, no.
Oh, you're going to go up to Kalgoorlie.
We're going up to Kalgoorlie for an event there.
Yep.
And then that's on the Saturday before the conference, and then from Kalgoorlie down the south way for the sole reason that I'll be going via Meriden and Southern Cross on the way back, so I'll go a different way on the way in. That's the only reason.
Yeah, cool. So look, Norseman will be done. Esperance will be done. I think Coolgardie will be done.
Yep.
I don't know about Kalgoorlie. Southern Cross should be done because I've already installed the transformer there.
Okay.
So that should be done. Don't know about Meriden in November. But that's not so bad because if you fully charge at Southern Cross, you'll get most of the way to Perth and maybe just a quick top up at Meriden. And then you'll be in. Sorry. If you fully charge at Perth and you go towards Southern Cross, you just need a little charge at Meriden, a confidence charge just to get to Southern Cross.
Yeah.
On your return trip.
I'm just looking at distances between Perth and Southern Cross and Norseman, and they're both in theory within range of a single charge on mine. So
I've got
with the extra backup.
Yeah, I've got all the distances here. Let me just try and orient myself. So you've got. Oh no, this was the other way. So this was Norseman, Esperance, Munganut. Yeah, sorry.
So I haven't got those ones.
Across to
Kalgoorlie.
Perth is 370.
It's very close.
And
I
you've got a
think I-
standard range 3, Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I've extrapolated from all my longer trips, and the longest I could get it out to would be about 385. So if I drive it, 95 or 100 Ks, maybe, it should be easy enough.
Yeah, cool. We'll see. We'll let you know sooner to the time. Look, Meriden might be in by then, because don't forget that the WAV network, at least all the Synergy side, has been promised to be finished by January next year, and that's very close.
Yeah,
it's very close, and you've got time.
Yeah, that's all good.
So that's
Awesome.
cool. Fantastic.
That's
All
good.
righty.
Yeah. Plenty of time for more chats on that on other nights, so I'll let you move on to other topics.
Yeah, no worries. I've just got to check my little notes.
Just remember, Chuck, as a member of the club, that if you have any issues, that Harold will come out and help you wherever you are.
Look,
And
Chuck,
he,
if you get
he will lend
stuck,
you his credit card.
And you get the credit card as well, but don't use it too much, because that month is my shopping month. It's pretty busy with that one, so
That's fair enough.
very similar low purchases is great.
if you get stranded for a couple of weeks, Chuck, I will be coming through, leaving Perth on the 16th of November.
Bit
Or
after.
if, like Pete, if you leave anything behind at a roadhouse or something, I can just go and collect it for you.
It's all right.
Although, to my chagrin, and apologies, Pete, I did collect your table and chairs. I still have them safely in my garage. I got to get them back to you, but anyway.
How are the ones you had on Marketplace last week?
Stop it. That deal fell through, so
Oh.
I've still got them. Still got them.
Still got them.
Anyway. Alrighty, so any other comments or questions? I think I've done most of what I needed to do, which is the broom, the 80%, the Cybertruck seat, the high pressure. I think that's about it, really. Any general stuff?
Can you make the car fart now from your phone? Someone was saying. Paul, I was going to ask you about that, Paul. Apparently, I read somewhere that you can make the car fart from your phone with people in the car or something.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, like your shortcut.
Yeah.
When you got your that shortcut thing.
Oh yeah.
Where's the fart? So there in the corner.
Oh, so you can put your fart up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can fart in the car.
You hear that?
In the car, you can be outside the car.
Yeah. Did you hear
I
that?
was reading about that 2 days ago.
But
There you
Paul,
go.
that's
we
before
could
you
hear that.
push the button.
Oh yeah, I got to push a button.
And you don't have to be in the car. You can be outside the car.
Oh, you have to have the boombox thing for that. Which I think are they the latest cars?
Yeah, apparently it's in their update.
Apparently so, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because now they have the low speed warning and that sort of crap up to, I think it's 24 k's an hour or something stupid
Yeah, right. Wow.
for the new cars.
Did you know
You
that?
can get the boombox fitted as a aftermarket add-on.
Oh,
through
it's
Telford.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
But I like my
Australia,
car silent.
I think it's about $300 from memory, something like that.
Yeah. Can you have like a silent mode? So, when you're normally just driving, so that it's not making a noise.
Hang on, you want a speaker for silent mode?
It
Well,
only,
I
it
want to
only makes
use
the UFO
use the
noise,
boot.
Paul, in
Use-
reverse.
Huh?
It only makes the UFO noise in reverse. It doesn't make it when you're driving forward.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't want it at all. I mean, I want
Yeah,
the
but-
boombox thing to give shit to people.
Yeah,
But,
you can't get rid of it, unfortunately. It's stuck on in reverse. And when you're summoning it as well,
Oh no.
it works.
So you've done that demo. Did you get yours fitted?
Yeah, I got it done ages ago. Yeah.
I
When
just get an
when it first
isolation
came
switch.
available, I pretty much got it, I think, about a week after it came available. Ben come around and did it.
Awesome. I just cut into the loom and just have an on-off switch so you can override it yourself if you don't want
Yeah, you might. Yeah, you probably could. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
So you could do that. And I'm only saying for cars like yourselves, like yours, Damo, where it was never a requirement. Obviously, I wouldn't encourage anyone to illegally modify their car if it was a requirement, but yours, Damo, is not a requirement. So
yeah,
it
doesn't bother me. I'm used, as I said, it only works like it sort of makes it sound like the Jetson car, and it only does it when you're in reverse. It's not that annoying.
How does it go, Dummer? How does it sound?
The Jetsons.
I don't know. How does it sound? Is it like...
I don't know, Jared. You tell me.
I can't
Tell
remember.
me how it sounds, mate.
It was a sort of a funny sound.
It's pretty cool, but actually, the novelty's worn off for me now ages ago. But it was pretty funny when I first got it. The farting and that, it's pretty cool.
Every time someone says that. Oh, there you go.
That's a Jetson.
That's cool. He's doing that, Pete.
Sort of like that, but it's not really that noisy either. The farting's quite noisy, and when you talk through it, you sound like Darth Vader. But the actual pedestrian warning noise, it's not very loud at all.
Actually, sorry, I should have actually put that on
Harold's going
on
off.
the,
That a That's crazy.
J. Robert Oppenheimer.
Oh, sorry.
Oppenheimer.
Sorry
So
about that.
you GoFundMe page tonight for Mr. Chap. Much bigger screen, bigger camera. Is that right? Oh.
I'll tell you what you need a go. What you need a GoFundMe page for are the owners who are buying 600 Teslas that are arriving on the 20th of August.
True.
What is that in Australia or
Perth.
Oh, Perth? Okay.
Bloody hell, we only had 400 the other day.
That's courtesy. That's courtesy of Molace. So I knew someone I know sent me a VIN, and all you do is you put the VIN as in here and search as a VIN number, and then it'll give you a booking number, and you plug the booking number in, and then it'll give you the entire list of VINs. And there are 270.
People, Carol?
Sorry?
You contact those 600 people for references for like the to get
the referral code.
Referral code. You
Oh,
start
don't. Oh.
Start stalking them for the referral code. 600 of them.
I just saw it on someone else's Facebook forum.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Someone said it was like when people do those. It's a graphic. It's a JPEG of the question. It's all in purple or whatever, white writing, and said, can someone give me their referral code? And that was just like the seagulls were just breaking in, going, DM sent. You can use mine. If you use mine, I'll give you. I'll show you how to use all the cables, and I'll do a free demonstration for you, and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, mine, and
Yeah.
But actually, it's an appropriate time to say that, obviously, if anyone that's watching this does need to use a referral code, because you do get $750 off, and you do get some referral points as well that you can use. You can just go to TOCWA's website, which is tocwa.org.au,
or
click on the menu button and click on the menu button and just select random referral. And it literally will, at random, present the referral web link to one of our financial members who has volunteered or asked to be put onto that random referral.
Is the secretary the default?
Or you can just give it straight to
No,
me.
in fact, the secretary is specifically excluded, as are all of the committee members of TOCWA. they are specifically excluded. We agreed to do that when we first proposed doing a random referral generator, because it's just unseemly if you have someone in the
I think other clubs
committee.
do, don't they?
What's that? Exclude?
No, they include themselves in.
Oh, possibly, yeah. So Ken's just put the link up there. So for example, there's a David 7666. So and that was just random there. So we just click on that. Then what happens is that just brings up. Oh, I actually know which David this one is. Look at that. I'm sorry, David, you just missed out because I just used up your referral. So this gentleman's got 42 referrals, so he's doing okay.
42. Jeez.
42. And then if you just basically refresh, then it just keeps on generating new referrals.
Oh.
No, so you just keep doing it.
Mine got chosen the other day from someone called Reese. So thanks, Reese.
Oh, very good. So you just keep clicking it, and as the instructions say, you just basically click, and there's Peter's referral. That's not Peter Petrosky. That's some other Peter.
That's his other Peter. That's Peter.
Yeah, that's his alter ego.
That's his cousin, Siktorsky. his Russian cousin.
Oh, you're exposing the loophole that I found in the system. Shush.
Who's got 46 referrals? Did you say?
That's I actually know that gentleman personally. That's David Lloyd. So, and speaking of which, I actually saw David on the way up to. I was on the way back to Broome, so I think I left on the Sunday morning, and David left on the Friday before me, and I was going down towards 80 Mile Beach Caravan Park, and he was going up towards Sandfire Roadhouse, and there's only like about a 40-kilometre overlap. And basically at random, we basically went head to head, did not collide, but went head to head.
Did you have the antenna up?
Starlink, no, that was just bolted under my glass roof.
Did you raise the antenna?
No, I didn't raise it. No, I did not raise any antennas. I flashed my high beams and waved profusely. So it was cool. And I also saw Rod Dilks, who is taking his wife for a four-wheel drive adventure up in the Kimberley, but she's flying wisely, and he drove in his Model 3, I think from Margaret River or somewhere down south. So that was pretty cool. So so those Teslas do get out and about.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I was thinking actually, because last weekend I was down in Busselton, and with the EV highway and stuff, and they're like looking at putting one at Bunbury, and I went, it's not really needed because you've got Eton and Treendale. Why don't they put it at Busselton? Because that would actually make more sense.
The issue is
there was so many cars, so many Teslas there on.
There's so many Teslas wherever you go now.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
The issue is, like, for example, that's the map there. So the commitment was to have an interval of no more than 200 kilometres on average, which is why, for example, you've got Karratha and Port Hedland. Well, the distance between Karratha and Port Hedland is 232 kilometres, which is not excessive. But because it's more than 200, they're going to put a site at Wim Creek. And that's kind of, I mean, it's cool, but, you could have saved one site there. And the same reason is you don't need a charger at Kings Park because there are plenty of chargers in Perth. But then if they didn't put one at Kings Park, they would then say, well, the distance between Lancelin and Bunbury is more than 200 kilometres. So
but
it was more about keeping the commitment of that 200 kilometre interval anywhere you go in WA. But of course, I'm going to use that as an opportunity to remind everyone that there is a gaping gap, and it's something that unfortunately the government has overlooked, and I'm just trying to bring it up.
But
and that is
at Kings Park at night, Harold.
Sorry, Jerry?
There's a lot of things that happen late at night in Kings Park that, you
Well-
you might need a charger, like, maybe you're burying a body or something, or you're, doing something. And, and you need to charge when you're done.
Well, you can park and charge, so that'll be
Yeah,
fine.
you're true. Parking here, it's a good idea. Good point.
Well,
And-
the Kings Park one is actually opposite Zamia Cafe. So that's you haven't got. I've actually taken a photo of the this concrete slab. I'll just.
You know all the slabs, Harold. I tell you.
Yeah.
You got
The good thing about
all these
going to Kings
romantic
Park-
relationships with slabs. Oh, I just dropped in the other day, and then this other drop in came to something.
The good thing about Kings Park is you can do evil things at the moment and you can't get charged.
Oh, you said it too.
Don't even go there, Jared.
Don't even go there. Okay, let's just send this up to this one here. I'll just send that to OneDrive. Yeah, so Kings Park's the slab's in. The boxes aren't up yet, but I'll just get OneDrive to transfer that across. But before we get to that, this is the gap. We need a charger at Dalwallinu, Paynes Find, Mount Magnet, Meekatharra, Coomarina, Newman, and Oski. And that way you can drive from Perth to Port Hedland. You can visit the Karijini National Park and be a great tourist rather than doing what I forget the gentleman's name now, but he actually lives. Jack. It was Jack. Lives in Tom Price, and he actually turned right at Nanyatara, and I actually picked up the charger that the club lent him the next day at Nanyatara. But wouldn't it be great to be able to do a loop? So you go up the coastal road, go to Karijini, and then go down the guts, and visit, Meekatharra, Mount Magnet, Paynes Find, and
right.
Dalwallinu.
And you could go to Halls Creek and stop in there for the overnighter. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I've stayed. Have I overnighted at Halls Creek?
Oh, I have.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And one thing I remember, and I've got a photo of it, next to my bedside table, there was a business card from the police that said, in case of something, like if you're in distress or something, ring whatever number. And that was at the bedside table of the hotel, which was kind of interesting. But anyway, I'll just grab these images of the Kings Park charger. And like I said, you just go, it's just opposite Zamia Cafe. So I'm kind of concerned because unfortunately, all of the non-Tesla EVs, most of them, the luxury ones, have signed agreements with ChargeFox, who are the billing provider for the WIEV network. And under that agreement with the manufacturers, they get free, unlimited fast DC charging everywhere for the first 3 years of their car's ownership, which it's a little bit like an old Model S or a Model X on a supercharger. If it's free, they'll use it all the time. So, that charger at Kings Park is going to be pretty popular. Let me just get this image up.
Might take a little bit of load off West Perth.
Indeed, quite. Because, if you actually want to charge and you're prepared to pay for it, you just can't, because it's being hogged by a freeloader enjoying the best things in life.
Bloody Audi drivers.
Bloody Audi drivers.
And what was your 6-letter review of the Audi e-tron that you drove, Ken?
I really wanted to like it.
Exactly. Okay, I've got this image. It's oops, stop that. It's right there. So this is basically opposite Zamia Cafe, and there's the other side. So Zamia is just basically across the upper right-hand corner of that image. But that's a very substantial slab where you've got, I think this is a cabinet. No, I think this might actually be where the Chem Power unit goes.
No, this one here. That's a chem power. That's a cabinet. That's your pay mate, and that's your charge mate as the backup. That's your AC backup. So it's a prime spot. And I think what a lot of people might be doing is, if they're short for parking spots at Zamia Cafe, they'll just plug in on the AC, and that costs 35 cents a unit, which is kind of not unreasonable. But anyway, so that's that for the time being. Any other questions or comments? We've had a big fortnight, obviously.
So I have a question. I've also got to hang on. Let me just. I'm going to share some photos at you, but does this work? So here's a nice West Australian assembled EV with a bunch of sad people in front of it.
I missed that. Are they from Prison Release, Ken? They just out of Canning Vale.
But anyway, that was one photo, but I'm going to move to the next photo. This is an interesting little alert that apparently a few Model S, Model X owners are getting all around the world right now. Tesla have decided that the pyro fuse on older cars is needing replacing.
Wow.
So I got that one on my Model S this week. Wow. And apparently mine's one of the younger ones that's got it. But if you have an S or an X that's 2018 or so or earlier, you're likely to get this alert sometime soon.
Did that stop you driving?
No, it drives fine.
Okay.
It's a it comes up as a BMS warning, so I haven't booked it into service yet, but I will. Apparently, it's not all that expensive, but yeah, they appear to be deciding to age those fuses on some of the older battery packs now.
Is it a free recall or free?
No,
it's not a recall.
No, it's a $100 part plus labor.
But your battery is less than 8 years old.
It is. It's only 6, but
and it's part of the pack. It's internal to the pack.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
There's a question for Tesla service team in WA as to how they're going to play that out. Particularly, it does seem to be a recent thing. They've been pushing it out. And for cars that are 8-9 years old, sure, but for 6 years old, it's meant to have an 8-year lifespan, that part. So.
And I bet you the issue is they may not be confident that it will go off when it needs to.
That is the problem. Yeah, the issue is not that it will fail and stop you driving. The issue is that it will fail and stop protecting you.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe in a collision.
And now they've just decided to bring the parameters in.
That's the implication. Yeah, it's either a mistake or they've decided to shorten the parameters to say let's do it earlier than 8 years. And so a whole bunch of cars that are in the 5 to 8 year old are going to get that warning very soon.
I'd be looking, that could be frustrating, because if you look closely at the battery warranty, what constitutes the battery? Are they trying to say that's a separable item within the battery, but that's not the battery? Because
it's a consumable item. It's got a non-rechargeable battery in the module. So the idea is that battery will wear out, but yeah, it's
no. So wasn't it? No, it was the pyro fuse. It's the pyro fuse, isn't it, Ken? That's what the message said.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So all the pyro fuse is literally explosives connected to a bit of copper, and if you're in a collision that's severe enough, it literally ruptures that bit of copper using a cutting explosive.
To cut the HV, yeah.
Yeah, to cut to HV. And that basically then permanently cuts it. You have to then replace the fuse to reinstate the battery.
So Ken, are you saying there's a little battery that sets off that explosive?
No, it's the explosive
that was my
itself.
understanding, but yeah, maybe I've got that wrong.
No, I think Ken, it's just a pyrotechnic device, a bit like your airbag. Except, for the airbags, it was the opposite. The airbags, when they degraded, they were too explosive and too severe, and that would fracture the casing and send it through your throat and things like that, which unfortunately someone in Tasmania actually died. I think he was driving a Toyota of some sort, and actually he had a minor accident, but the airbag killed him. And I think that might have been the only one of the very rare fatal instances of it. But the pyro fuse, just designed to explode and rupture the power to the pack. So maybe there's some doubt that that's going to be effective after it's aged.
Yes, well, I haven't had a conversation with service yet, but it'll be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I'd be
that's
pushing
that's a
for hey,
safety
Barley's.
issue.
It's your pack.
Yeah.
It's there's a warranty on the battery pack. I think it even says battery pack, and that's a part in the pack.
Yeah, it's a contract. Yeah, no, safety issue.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd push that, Ken. I wouldn't put up with that.
Sorry?
What do you think? Do you think it's a safety issue?
Sounds like it.
Specs warranty.
Yeah, it is. And if you look up, like I said, in fact, the S's and X's had an unlimited kilometre 8-year warranty on the battery.
That vehicle's drivetrain and battery is still under warranty until 2025.
Yeah. Yep. So I dare
How
say
much warranty have I got?
you've got
You're good for a couple more years.
80,000 Ks and 4 years on the car, and I think you have 8 years and 160,000 kilometres on the battery pack.
Yeah, that's right. They added a kilometre limit later, but the pre-2019 or 2018 cars had unlimited battery and drivetrain warranty.
Yeah,
And if you want to check, Carmen, if you want to check, it's on the bottom of the app for your car.
Yeah,
Like,
it'll
there's
tell you.
lots of
It'll
specs
tell you in
and
the app.
warranty.
Yeah, mine's 192,000.
So here's one.
Oh,
Here's
yes,
one
it
for you.
does.
Here's
It
one for you.
does, yes.
Go, buddy.
Fantastic.
Pyro fuse. When the signal is detected from the vehicle, an ignition current is generated to operate the pyro fuse, shutting down the circuit. So a signal is given to the fuse. Now, they may have changed what they say, how much damage do we need before we send a signal? And they may be saying that we now want it a bit tighter, so we're going to put a different fuse in.
Who knows? Yeah.
So they may have changed the algorithm that drives the pyro fuse, in which case it's not a warranty issue, it's a change of their thinking.
Yeah, but they're changing the fuse. So it's just clearly the fuse.
There may be nothing wrong with the fuse, they've just changed what the car should do with that fuse.
And it's a pretty easy thing to change. It's I've had a sticky beak on the later packs. It's actually on the underside of the battery pack, so they don't have to drop the pack or anything crazy. It's just Anyway, I'll let you know how.
Oh,
that
very good. Yeah, a bit of controversy.
And I had a look. They never refer to it as the battery pack. They always refer to it as the battery and drive unit. It's
well, that's easy because the battery is the whole thing. It's the battery, and in a Model S in particular and an X, it is literally absolutely separable to the point where you can do battery swaps.
You
that's
could
been
argue,
demonstrated.
You could argue is if they were referring specifically to the battery energy storage part of the battery, so then they should refer to it as the batteries, because there isn't one battery. There's
thousands.
Yeah, a couple of thousand. So if they're referring to it as a battery in singular form, then you would think they're referring to the battery pack, which should include the pyro fuse.
Yeah.
So,
well, Ken will find out. Have you booked it in yet, Ken? Or you?
I haven't.
To that stage?
It's on my list for later this week, so I'll get a slot and take it into service, and then I'll have that conversation when they send me the quote.
Yes, depending on what mood you're in, you could preface the conversation with, "So, is there any movement on the FSD transfer yet?" Just to establish the mood,
just to warm him up. Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, it's just software. Why don't they just do it for you?
No, it's a physical device they're changing as.
No, I was thinking the FSD.
FSD, the FSD.
Your performance.
It's no brainer. It's Tesla. When you buy Windows, whatever, you buy Office or something, and you change PCs, you can transfer the license from one device to another. When you upgrade your mobile phone, your iPhone to another one, you don't have to buy all the apps again and any other thing you had on your old phone. It very nicely transfers because it didn't cost Apple $1 to transfer it. And it doesn't cost Tesla $1.
That's right.
That's why Elon's the richest
Windows
man
is a
in the
bad
world.
example. Windows is a bad example because you can't. There's lots of legal copy about moving Windows from one computer to another computer, but let's not use
Yeah,
that as an
sorry.
example.
No, but iPhones. Because after all, Tesla is the iPad of cars on wheels.
Yeah.
And so yeah. It's just bad
You know,
behavior.
but Elon wants to make a sales opportunity for the next quarter is really all that is. What they're basically dialing it in is all these people who have been resisting buying a new Tesla because they don't want to lose their FSD. This is an opportunity to get them to make a purchase. And I, as a shareholder, you beauty, that's a great idea.
Yes.
Let's do that. All these people who are reticent to move, let's get them moving. But as a recent purchaser of another fine Tesla vehicle, it bothers me. But yeah.
It's not like you could move it from one S to another S either as well.
Oh, stop it. I'm not wearing my plaid t-shirt today.
Well, perhaps when you get Cybertruck, you can transfer it then.
Yeah, when they do another amnesty, I just need to hang on to my S for another 4 years.
Yes, it might take a
I'm
bit
hoping
long.
3. I'm hoping 3.
Paul, you're the eternal optimist.
I'm always an optimist. Yeah.
I think you'll need to go to live in America, mate.
Yeah, for my left-hand
No,
drive.
hell no.
For my left-hand drive Cybertruck.
Yeah, exactly.
Right-hand drive's out of vogue.
Definitely got everywhere.
Actually, one of my mates has moved to Austin for a couple of years. His wife is working oil and gas, blah blah blah, and he bought a bloody Ford F something or other, and it's taller than him. It's hilarious. He had a photo of himself next to it, and I'm like,
shotgun rack on the back window, Paul.
not yet.
Yeah,
I said, when are you getting your gun and your hat? So,
yeah, you get the gun rack on the back. Little American.
Oh god.
Deary me. Yes, deary me. In fact, there is. I'm just trying to find one little spot where it actually was useful to have a left-hand drive car, and I think I've just found it.
Garbage.
It's
garbage truck.
No, it's right here. This is the back. This is the back part of the Cable Beach Resort where you park, and because they use bollards and prox cards, you actually go on the wrong side. You can't actually see it, but there's line markings where you enter on the right side of the road and exit on the left side, because you're on the driver's side and you've got to wave your prox card to the reader because they don't have an island. So of course, if I did put the reader on the left side where it should be, yeah, a Cybertruck, left-hand drive Cybertruck would be perfect. You could just wave it out. And you wouldn't need to do what they do in the UK, which is they actually sell a Model X and a Model S left-hand drive with one of those cheap plastic rubbish pickup a reacher thing.
Yeah, they give you a little grabber. It's just hilarious. So you can get your curry from the drive-through. You know, it's like
we need the orangutan.
And you supersized. You've got your supersized Diet Coke with your Big Mac, and you grab it with your grabber in the tray, and it just falls.
Was that spam, or is Tesla actually supplying those grabbers?
No, for
They were
real. You
supplying
get
them.
a
It's real.
plastic grabber with your Model S plaid in UK.
Oh my god!
Better than using not a flamethrower, though, isn't it?
I saw it, Ken, but I thought it was spam. Like, I thought there's no way they would do that, but yeah, obviously not.
It's done.
Doctor injury.
It's there's a photo of it right there.
You're kidding.
Reacher.
The Reacher.
Yeah.
It's legit.
It's hilarious.
This one's pretty good. It bends in half, so you know it folds up in a convenient packet.
Great.
Anyway, yeah, go Tesla. In fact, there's a better image of it. Yeah, it's actually called the Reacher. It's proper Tesla bling. And yeah, there were quite a few people in the UK that took quite well to it. Not. Never mind. Alrighty, any other bits of news or whatever?
No,
In case we
we're
run
at
out of puff.
266.30 on Tesla.
Yes,
Oh,
the
okay.
share price. Yeah. The thing is, I think a big driver of it was that Elon Musk basically said that they were going to have manufacturing interruptions through all gigafactories worldwide for upgrades. And the thing is, that's really good news. So it doesn't matter that Q3 is going to have less turnover than last quarter, because they're probably going to upgrade all their lines that have Model 3s to the Highland version, and probably do other changes as well. That's going to make the cars cheaper to produce, and they can make them faster, cheaper, and better. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I think you're right. I think it was mainly that. There was also a little bit of the fact that he kept on referring to the Cybertruck delivery event as this year rather than this quarter. So that was perceived as being back. But I think, to be honest, they're probably internally still aiming for September. But, you know, if they happen to, you know, if it happens to fall on the 2nd or the 3rd or the 5th of October, they don't want to be accused of, you know, having missed or having delayed it again. So I think they're just learning from past mistakes and just sandbagging a little bit.
But the thing is that this car here, this was the first one they produced, and it was a release candidate. That's why they say RC. I mean, there it is there in the production line. That's the proper production line. And this is that release candidate in proper production.
Hey, so Harold, what are all those people doing in the background? They work in catering or something?
Whoops, sorry. These ones.
Yeah, all those they run the hot dog stand on the production line or something, do they?
No, they're the humans that actually have to tend to the machines.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think there was something. Apparently, you use your thumb and your index finger of the opposite hand, and that's the sort of like the Cybertruck sort of silhouette.
I thought the gang signs. I thought they were throwing down like Homie G signs from LA. You know, South Central LA.
No,
That guy there from Crompton. You can see he's got the Crompton sign, the gang Crompton sign.
Yes, exactly. But so this car here is actually that one there, which is pretty cool. But again, you got the infamous asymmetrical bulkhead. So, you know, if it comes to Australia, they're going to have one of these that are flipped around. And there's no pass through. So there's no way you can get from, if Pete wanted to crawl from the bed into the car, you got to do it from the outside. You can't do it from the inside.
But they may have, it hasn't been ruled out that the window won't be able to be wound down. You know, the rear window.
Oh, so you can crawl through the window.
Way.
There is still hope for Pete yet to sleep in the back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm still holding out hope.
Holding out the hope.
Well, it is a 6-foot bed, so
and nice and wide too.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, you can go on an angle.
And it is only it's less than 5.8 meters long, so that's pretty good too.
Well, 19 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's AKA 5.79 meters.
Let's get exact, sweet boys. No one, you know.
Mine's going to stay outside anyway.
Stay to the last couple of millimeters.
We can have that.
We should mention the size is it's still smaller than an F-150. So, you know, it's big, but it's not, you know, like, you know, we already have that car here in Australia, so or a car of that dimension. So
that's right. And if you insist on having a car that looks like an F-150, you can just get a wrap, like Tesla's already shown the way, and you can make your Cybertruck look like an F-150 if you really wanted to.
But that's like getting a Tesla and making it look like her. I mean, why would you?
It's like buying a Mac and putting Windows on it.
I've actually seen that. That's
seen
a thing.
Many times. Many times.
I did that. I did that as well on my MacBook Pro.
Here we go. Here we go. Knew it. There you go.
But yeah, so if the financial results, Sorry. So with the financial results, the cool thing was Tesla spent a record amount on capital and yet still put an extra $700 million in their cash reserves.
Still had $1 billion of free.
Yep. And they've got $40 million of debt.
Nothing.
With $23 billion of cash.
What was interesting is Elon mentioning that they're already in talks, as you said in one of the news items, Harold, in talks with a major OEM in regards to FD licensing. So we saw what, and it's not licensing, they're just opening up the superchargers. We saw what that did to the share price. Now, if that, which is fairly insignificant, and it's still not clear what benefit there is to Tesla from that. I mean, we can induce, some pretty major benefits, but yeah, I mean, once that comes out, once that's announced, and feel free to push the button and play the disclaimer, Harold, but I think once
The following segment is general in nature and shouldn't be taken as personal professional advice.
Rocket on the back of that.
Listeners should seek their own independent assessment from a qualified advisor and not rely.
He meant to push the button when he finished his statement out, Harold. Not in the middle of this.
Well, he said push the button. I pushed it.
Push the button.
Maybe
what did you say, Pete?
Push the button.
Can't remember anymore.
On the trigger.
Okay. You buy. Oh yeah.
Where's Russell these days?
Russell's actually, big shout out to Russell. He rang me the other day. I think I was in Karratha or somewhere like that via Starlink. So it was really good. Wi-Fi calling just works really well. And Russell lamented that sometimes he'd be watching us and someone would ask a question and then someone else didn't quite know the answer to that question. And Russell said he would be screaming at his PC going, I know the answer to that, you idiots. And it's like, it's very funny. But all I could say to Russell was, I'm really sorry, mate, but if you're not there, you can't answer it live. So, if you snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
But I dare say with a brand new addition to the family, he doesn't get a lot of snoozing done. So
has he got a new trunk? Has he got new props for his show?
No, he's got a new bundle of joy. So that keeps him up all night.
Speaking of bundles of joy, my mate, he had a baby delivery on the Thursday and a Tesla a Model Y delivery on the Friday.
Is that like Uber Eats, Pete? Did he get delivered?
You better be careful which was the most important.
The Friday delivery, definitely.
It was his second child, so
and first Tesla.
Oh,
there you
really?
go.
Oh, what number child are you?
Have a guess.
Number one.
Hey?
Number one son.
Number one.
But yeah, no, I thought that was quite funny. But yeah,
I just want to know what's happened to Richard Chapman. He's got a small camera and he's been moved into the garage.
Yep.
Normally on Wednesday he's doing the dishes. What's going on? Is there some problem at your work at the moment where things have been squeezed at the moment?
Don't talk about my work, Jared. That's the rules.
Yeah, a little bit of things are getting squeezed down a little bit at the moment.
Things are tight.
Someone's got to pay all those lawyers, Joe.
Did you know there were 74 lawyers in the law court? 74.
What was that?
It's a new record. 4 rows.
That's weird,
Yeah, that's because of all the new apartments. They're all going to be handling complaints.
Oh no, it's
real estate.
That looks very cool, Harold.
No, I just realised you could see it in that screen too. So
Yeah.
it's just
that's the most.
so that's how you do. That's the Ask Us Anything studio.
Yeah.
Oh, with complete with the sound barrier.
Yeah, it's got sound deadening. Very bright light,
You can actually see the camera just there, and there's the screen that's backwards onto a beam splitter, and the camera is just behind.
You can see right up Carmen's nose.
So cool.
Deary me. If I could change the view.
Spotted, Jared.
What's the matter? Go on, Carmen. Tell us a story.
I'm paying bills.
Oh, you can tell. Oh, that's unbelievable.
All right, let's turn that off. Enough fun. This is serious.
All
right.
John, where'd you say you were on the other side of the country? He's frozen. John, are you frozen?
Who's that? Is that me, Jared? You talking to?
Where'd you say you were on the other side of the country?
No, I'm up in the Kimberleys at Coolan Island.
Oh, okay. Where's that? In the Kimberleys?
Oh, that's way up north.
That's
yes.
Yeah, way up, very much north. It used to be a BHP iron ore island originally, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a very high grade iron ore here. We're just filling in, doing some shipping up here.
Okay. Sounds like fun. Fun place.
Pretty cruisy, but yeah.
There you
go. All righty. Have we got any last drinks? We might wrap this up because I've got this audio thing's really annoying, and I've got a whole week to try and fix it. I'm sure just a reset will fix it, but
you've been saying that for 2 years. I think it's time to upgrade.
Oh no, the problem is every time I use it, something breaks because it's just there's just too many working bits, and like I said, it's free software. It's OBS, Open Broadcasting System, or something. Anyway, it's just a little bit fragile. All right, any last drinks before we wrap this show up? I have an early night. Got an early morning tomorrow. Got to drive to Walpole.
Oh,
what's going on in Walpole? We're just shopping.
Did you want me to?
Was it Michelle? I think as Michelle said.
Yeah, Michelle.
So she's obviously been down. Synergy are down there tonight, and I'll be commissioning it tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I'd go down there and take a happy snap and post it up on Twitter on behalf of the club.
I think Pete's going down there tonight. He'll be leaving earlier just to beat you because he wants to be the first one to urinate on the actual on the charging.
Jared.
To have a you don't. You have a wee on the tree. That's what you do.
Wee on the tree.
A wee on the tree.
Did you want me to wag work and go up to Lancelin or something?
He wants to.
Yeah, look, I think Lancelin. I did notice that Karrinyup, one of the DC units, was presumably out because I saw it had a like a no entry sign, and it was grey. The pin was grey, and it said that stalls 2A, 2B, and 2C were out of order. So there are only 3 stalls working at Karrinyup. So I thought perhaps that the Tesla Energy person might have gone there instead. But Lancelin is either operational now, that is Wednesday, the whatever today, the 26th of July, or it will be operational tomorrow. I just don't know. And because Tesla doesn't show the live status for a few days or maybe even a week later, we just don't know. But unfortunately, I can't be in 2 places at once.
That's right. So while you're at Walpole, Pete could be at Lancelin tonight.
Yeah, but Pete's got work to do. He's got a lot of work to do. He's a working man. He's working for the man, which is himself. So he's got better things to do than gallivant up to Lancelin on a whim when it might not be open. But it might be. But anyway, well, actually, last time I went to Lancelin a couple of days ago, because I bought a chili pie, which is quite delicious. I saw I overtook a Nissan Leaf. It's a 2019 Nissan Leaf. I only saw that.
Great car.
Sorry? It was a great car. I overtook it at 100 k's an hour because he was doing 90. And I thought, oh yeah, I know why you're doing 90. Because he has CHAdeMO. So he can't charge at the WAV network in Lancelin. In fact, he didn't charge there. He charged on the free EO next to the toilet block. And he sat there for probably a couple of hours. I don't know which way he was going, maybe towards Jurien Bay.
You know what's interesting is Nissan has now announced that it's going to NACS, but not for the Leafs, only for the what's the
Nissan
new
Aria, the Aria.
yeah. So, you know, it's mind-boggling, but obviously they're going to stick with Cherimo for the Leafs for.
So is the Aria by any chance, is that a current model that they have in the US?
Yep.
So I presume that would be on CCS, perhaps?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
so
CCS.
That explains it, because when they said that they were going to do an adapter, I thought, oh, they're going to do a Chatamo adapter, which is the reverse to what Tesla sold for the old Model S's and X's. I thought there might be a reverse Chatamo adapter, but clearly that's not the case if it's just the Aria, which...
Remember, they were about that big.
Yes, the Chatamo ones.
Yep. So that's interesting. And so disappointing of Nissan to just, if you're a Leaf owner, you're just out in the wilderness, and you're going to stay like that.
With the Twig.
That'll just be a put around the city car.
It's just terrible. Yeah. Well, thankfully,
it is a bad name.
Yeah, and so it's well, that's true too. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so I saw this Leaf, and he was just charging slowly on the free EO. So go figure. But anyway, cool. Alrighty. So hopefully next week. Hopefully next week we'll have the Lancelin supercharger confirmed. We'll have the Walpole charger commissioned, and various other things for next week. So, Pete, how would you take out?
Sorry, Harold.
Go, Jared.
I'd like to interrupt. I'd like to be a part of this ending of the show. I'd like to say, let's stay sustainable. Let's stay working, and let's test our shit before we come on air. Finish for the night.
Hey, ease off, Jared. He's just a poor volunteer, all right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jared, I'm going to take a 99% pay cut in solidarity.
He's going to donate it.
And in fact, with that Cybertruck, footage, this video will probably be demonetized anyway. So, there you go. And actually, I couldn't test it, Jared, because
I'm just joking.
You everyone else in the room were the only people that could hear the echo, not me. Yeah. So I wouldn't have heard it if I tried. But I'll have to do some testing with someone. I'll get a volunteer to set up a meeting, and we'll test it.
Can you do it with your phone?
Oh yeah, I could actually. Yeah, thanks. Paul. Yeah, I could just do it with my phone. Although, I'd kind of have an echo, but that would be a proper echo, not a echo.
Back echo.
Yeah, it's a back echo. That's cool. All right. So, Pete, as if we didn't know, how would you round out an awesome show like this?
So always stay safe, stay sustainable, and stay ahead of the curve.
And the best way to do that is buy a Tesla, join Tokwa, and ask us anything about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. Have an awesome week, everyone. Stay safe. And we really look forward to seeing you on next week's episode of Ask Us Anything. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.